12
Wow.
in favor of the winner, boxing's pride of the Philippines.
Welcome to another edition of Coffee with the Goose, where we talk about things that are interesting, fascinating, and irritating. Yes, I'm the Goose, and it is a very special edition of our program as we recap the, I would dare to say, a legendary fight between two champions as Manny Pacquiao defeated Keith Thurman for a share of the world welterweight title. But first, we need to start, as we always do, with our, I'm not going to say caffeine, I'm going to go decaf this time because it's 12:30 in the morning, and I got to get up for work pretty soon. But it's coffee nonetheless. You know my coffee is very strong, just like my opinion. He got some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. All right. What a great fight. Pacquiao wins it by split decision over Keith Thurman. I have a lot of thoughts after this fight. I watched it with a room packed with not all Pacquiao fans. Some were Thurman fans. So it made for an interesting night of entertainment. Pacquiao, to his credit, he wins another world title. He's now 62-7-2 on his career. Legendary career, and I still believe he's the greatest ever. Now, Keith Thurman. Now, I never said I had anything personal against this guy. I thought, he may have stepped over the line with the trash talking, but, in retrospect, it was marketing. Keith Thurman, I always said, was a great, young, undefeated champion in his prime. Look back if you don't believe me. I'm not just saying that. Keith Thurman, he gave us all we could ever, all his supporters could ever ask for. It started, if you didn't watch it or you remember, Pacquiao started very strong, knocked him down in the first round and had him hurt on a couple of other occasions throughout the fight. Once with a body shot, had him running for his life. But you remember, I mentioned this in one of the preview shows we had, that yes, Thurman will run if he's hurt, but unlike other fighters, he will stand back up like the champion he is and fight. And he did that tonight. I give all kinds of credit to Keith Thurman. He almost pulled this fight out. As a matter of fact, at the end of the fight, where it was kind of a hushed crowd we're in, at least among Pacquiao supporters, thinking he might have lost this thing. Because Thurman came out like a champion, came back, and showed his ring IQ and his heart. And when the announcer said it's a split decision, everyone in unison said, "No, here we go again." But the Pacquiao pulled out the split decision to take that title. Now, Thurman, you remember, was undefeated. This isn't the first time Pacquiao's faced an undefeated fighter. He, if my memory serves me correctly, and I could be one digit off on this, I think he's defeated 10. He's lost to 4. A couple of those, well, I'm not going to get into robbery and the corrupt nature of boxing. I won't get into that. But Pacquiao, I believe, has defeated 9 or 10 undefeated fighters in his career. Very impressive. That's why he is the legend that he is. So what's next for Keith Thurman? First of all, I have the utmost respect for Keith Thurman. I'm going to say it again. After the fight, they interviewed Manny Pacquiao. He acted like he lost because he knew he almost lost it. He did almost lose it to Thurman. He didn't, but he was not jubilant and, hip, hip, hooray, I'm the champion. No, Manny was very subdued and very humble. So, and he gave a lot of credit to Thurman for being the champion that he is. Thurman, on the other hand, showed nothing but class. He didn't say, "No, I won the fight," even though he landed more punches than Pacquiao. He did. He gave credit, all the credit to Pacquiao for his victory. He was asked towards the end, "What's next for you, Keith Thurman?" And of course he said, "I want a rematch." Well, guess what, Keith Thurman? I love you. You ain't getting no rematch. No. Maybe years ago when, Pacquiao was in the middle of his career and he had many years in front of him, that probably would have happened. But no, for number one, Pacquiao's almost done. He maybe has a couple of fights left in his career. And number two, Thurman might beat him the second time. Thurman's a champion. Give him all the kudos in the world. He fought like a champion. He rebounded and showed the heart of a champion, the intelligence as well, and afterwards showed class. And you know what? Win or lose, that's what being a champion's all about. How you treat one another, right? Right? Yeah. So, all the credit to Keith Thurman. What about Manny? Interesting interview at the end. Again, he gave lots of credit to Keith Thurman, which he, should have done. And then they asked, well, what about the other champions? And unfortunately, Terrence Crawford is the odd man out because he's not part of the PBC crowd. He's with Bob Arum. So, he's not part of this equation. It's going to be, they announced it officially, it's going to be Errol Spence Jr. against Porter. And that's going to be in September. And that is going to be a great fight. Spence, of course, undefeated, give both those guys a lot of kudos for being young warriors, young lions. That's going to be a great fight. They asked Pacquiao after his fight tonight, what about you're gonna face the winner of that fight in September? And he gave a classic politician's answer. And because he is a politician, they know how to talk without saying anything. Pacquiao basically said, I'll be there when they fight and I'll watch it. He didn't say he was going to fight anybody. So it was hilarious. So good for him. He didn't pin himself down. Oh, by the way, what about Floyd Mayweather Jr.? Did we hear anything from him? No, we didn't. For a couple of reasons. Well, he was there because he's part of the Pacquiao team. He's their teammates, if you will, with the same company. But he made his appearance. He was in the ring, giving his best wishes to both fighters, but he didn't say a word. And he's waiting for Manny to show a little more age and deterioration of his skills before he's going to get back in the ring with Pacquiao. We know that. I'm not going to say he's afraid, but he knows better. He's not going to fight a healthy Manny Pacquiao. So that matchup, that rematch is probably not going to happen. So, Floyd, happy retirement to you. You're a great champion. But I'm looking forward to the September fight between Spence and Porter, two great young fighters. And the winner of that will fight Manny Pacquiao, I'm sure, sometime next year. So the excitement continues. I'll tell you what, though. I speak for a lot of the other people in the room with me, watching that fight tonight, we're drained because it was, first of all, we all had, sweaty palms and butterflies in the stomach. We've been looking forward to this for many months. And finally we had it, and it was a nail biter. First we thought it was going to be a hands down, maybe a knockout victory for Pacquiao, but it ended up being, he won by the skin of his teeth. But he won. That's the key. So Manny Pacquiao, champion again, beats another undefeated champion. You can't stop this guy. He's 40 years old. Who's better? I don't think anyone's better, even though he's 40. And Keith Thurman, nothing but respect. A classic, classy champion. He earned his money tonight. One more thing before we let you go. We did a video recently, entering the House of Pain, with Pacquiao, and we showed all of his opponents who were, beat up, and many of them ended up in the hospital. I don't think Keith Thurman's going to the hospital, but look at his face. He looks like he'd been in a fight with Manny Pacquiao. So Pacquiao still brings it. He's still very scary. I don't know what's happening next with Keith Thurman. He got a nice paycheck tonight, so good for him. So it was a great show, a great fight, two great champions. I really enjoyed it. And, we'll dissect it a little more here in another day or two. We got a good friend, another YouTuber that we're going to talk to, Dr. Bring It. Great guy. Very intelligent. Big shout out to him. And one other of my favorite YouTubers that I want to pay homage to, and that's Johnny Boy Boxing. This guy, passionate, hilarious, and smart. all in the same package. Johnny Boy knows his stuff, and Johnny Boy, hats off to you. I love watching your videos. Maybe we'll hook up with you as well in the near future and do a joint podcast, if you will. That'll be fun. So stick with us. Coffee with the Goose. You know we're the folks you want to lean on for the people who think their way through this and not just repeat what we hear from somebody else. We do a little research, we do a little homework. Yeah, it's our opinion, but we like to think we do our research before we talk. Myself and my wonderful partner Jude, who is my producer, he's the man behind the scenes who makes this all possible. So anyhow, that's it for this edition of Coffee with a Goose. Thank you so much for watching, and huge thanks to all you subscribers. The number just keeps growing. I'm so indebted to you and thankful to you, and we look forward to chatting with you again. Talk to you again. Bye.